back again on the Everything podcast, and I'm here with two of my very good friends. Although they are just meeting for the first time, but I've known them for quite a while. On my right is Michael, and on my left is Adenike. So I've invited them today because we're going to be talking about work experience, basically. I mean, we're all adults now, well, young adults, and we all know that after uni, after education, basically, the next step is to find a career or a job. You know, the difference between career and job, we'll talk about that later. But the whole point of going to school in the first place is to follow a path. So they're here today and they're going to be talking to us about the paths that they've chosen, if it's working out, if it's not working out, and you know why they've chosen those paths in the first place. So Adenike, would you care to introduce yourself to the crowd?
Hi everyone. Yeah, my name is Adenike Olaya. I'm a digital marketer, actually trying to switch career into tech.
Yeah. Talk to Michael. Michael, tell us about yourself.
Thank you for having me, and hello to everyone. Well, my name is Michael Adekoya. For me, after uni, back then, before even while I was in uni, I was already into trying to get my hands on coding skills and all of that.
By the way, he's a tech bro. So now we know that Michael is a tech bro and Nike is a digital marketer. So now we're going to move on to how we found ourselves in the UK. Oh, by the way, you guys, I'm an aspiring solicitor. I was talking about everybody else and I forgot to, talk about my own path. So now, Nike, you found yourself in the UK and you've done your master's in
Branding and promotion.
So, how would you say, when you came to the UK to study that course, what would you say was your next plan and what made you choose? Okay, we know that you had an interest in that.
Yeah.
So what would you say was your next step, would be your next step now that you're done with that degree? And how do you plan to go about it?
Okay, so I'll start from while I was doing the degree, actually, because that's where the interesting thing happened. So while I was doing the degree, I actually figured out a lot of things. And one of the major things I figured out is for branding and promotion here, in the world, actually, I noticed a lot of people actually freelance. You don't really get a company employing a full-time branding and promotion person. So it's like a freelance job because they need you for a time being, and then when it's like a contract job, so you really get like a company that wants to like employ a branding and promotion person for like as a full-time employee. So when I discovered that and I thought about the fact that I'm new to the country, right, I can't freelance. I can't afford to freelance. Yes, because
speaking of afford to freelance,
yeah,
the reality of what some people are facing in the UK right now is to chase your dream job, you can go broke. So people divert and do like part-time jobs and so many different things.
Yeah.
And we're still going to get to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I realized, okay, now I have to have there has to be like a change of plans, and one of those are when I figured out, okay, yeah, marketing is a good way to actually like dive in because it's kind of similar anyways. Yeah, but what part of marketing? That's where the problem. So I made I wouldn't say I made a lot of mistakes. I would say it was like a learning curve for me because my first job after uni, you remember that was when I got the marketing job that I thought was marketing. But
let's talk about that trap.
I realized it was sales. God, the kind of sales where you go from doors to doors. I never would imagine in 1,000 years that I'll ever find myself in that situation.
The job was in UK.
Yeah, in the UK.
So
not after uni. I was going from door to doors, like knocking, and I having to pitch to people. Like those people that literally tell you, please come and buy what we are selling. That was what I was actually doing. Like, some people were doing it and they loved it, and it was funny because I'm like, how do I even love walking around?
Sorry, I just wanted to ask, while you were doing the job, how was it? What's like the most funny or worst experience you had during that job?
See, I'll
Because
tell
I can
you
imagine
one.
in the UK going to knock at someone's door.
One, the kind of like response you get,
Yeah.
people being rude and all those
Exactly.
things, then I am very scared of dogs. And you know most of these UK people
Uh-huh.
have dogs. Some of them, the dog is actually the one welcoming you to the house. There was a day I knocked and immediately this lady opened the door. The dog almost jumped at me. I almost fell. See, God, I'm like, what the? See, honestly, most of the experiences I was having, like, I mean, you meet some very nice people. Like, some people even give you, like, some even have to, oh, do you need water? Or do you want to come in? All those. But we're not even allowed to go into their houses. So you just tell them, oh, thank you. And
You know what this
You get,
reminds
like-
me of? You know when you do evangelism and you're going
I
from doors to
I never wanted to just jump.
Honestly, because
the first thing that came to
I'm
my
like,
mind.
it's very hard, trust me. And what were we selling? They were trying to sell. It was like you're trying to convince people to actually like move from their current electricity company or their network company, their internet service company to another. And you know how hard it is. You literally have to like give them
They
a
ask you-
better.
Exactly. They ask you what
I
are
know
the
what
You
people-
have to
benefits.
a lot
when
of
people
Yeah.
call me
questions.
to change my internet provider, I always hang up on them because
Trust me, when people-
rubbish.
Do you
Now
understand? Imagine them in your
Pressing in your
face.
face.
Or you're probably watching a very interesting movie, or let's say
Exactly.
you're doing something, or you're trying to go
Yeah.
prepare for something, and then someone is knocking at your door. Honestly, sometimes I put them in my shoes,
You know-
so I couldn't even be angry, right?
Let's talk about that trap, right? When you were applying for that job, what were the perks? Like,
Yeah.
what was the job function that they said you will be doing, and you ended up doing that?
so one-
Because I know a couple of people who are falling into that trap, and then they tell you that the pay is based on commission, innit?
That was what they told me to trust me. I didn't get paid, but I'll get to that. So
Yeah, I know a couple of people.
So
who
what
fell into that.
one of the mistake I made then was I only read the job title. I don't go through the description. It's just like, oh, anything marketing. I was just like, oh, it's marketing. I just apply. So that's like
It's
a
on
very. It's on me. Trust me, 100%. It was on me. And during the interview too, there were signs, but you know, it was like my first ever interview in the UK, like for a proper job. So I was like, okay, I didn't think people actually go from door to doors. Like, I'm not used to that. I've never even seen anyone on my doorstep. So I'm like, this can never be happening. So the first day when it happened, I was just like, oh, maybe it's just one of the learning
Training.
Do you understand? Like, it was like training. Like, the next day we'll probably be in the office and everything. And it went on. I'm like, okay. I had to ask my manager one day, so how long is this going to go for?
What's happening here? Like,
Because the last time I checked, I applied for a market, so they actually said marketing assistant. That's what they call the job, right? I think it was something marketing assistant, but I didn't read through the job description. So mostly in the job description of jobs like that, they tell you, you have to have maybe experience customer to customer, or no, sorry, is it something customer? There's a
Maybe P2P.
yeah, like
C2C.
there's a way, yeah, customer to customer, like there's just a way business to
B2B, B2C.
yeah, B2B, yeah,
Yeah.
business to customer, like honestly, like B2C, B2B. When you see those things, just trust me, it's sales.
Wrong.
But they rarely use the word sales in the job title.
But so would you say they kind of lure people into that kind of?
Yeah, in my
I think
opinion,
they
I'll
do.
say it's luring.
Yes.
Because why not just
Yes.
say sales? I mean,
Yeah.
people that are interested because there are people that have been working. I met people that have been working there for like a year. I'm going to 2 years, so they love it. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? But most people you find there are people that probably like need money and they probably don't have the experience. Like
Or
mostly like
teenagers.
people that just finished high
Who
school.
have time to waste.
They haven't gone to uni. Do you understand?
Yeah.
But I mean, I was with a master's degree. I was knocking at doors. I'm like, nah, man, like this is just not for me. So after 3 weeks, I even fell sick. So that was actually what pushed me to resign. I was sick because it was during winter. Imagine walking around in the cold, rain and everything.
Imagine.
Do you get?
Wow.
And it wasn't like you're getting paid a certain amount. You were doing it based on commission, and I haven't even made any sales.
Or was
You
it
guys-
worth it?
No, it wasn't.
Where
It wasn't.
I had 2
100%.
friends who did the same job and they didn't pay them as well.
didn't pay
One of them, luckily for one of them, had a law degree, so threatened them with the law. So they paid. They actually paid. But then you guys be careful and beware of like job ads like that.
Yeah.
Like they will literally use you to sell and make money from what you're selling and not pay you. So yeah, speaking about using, there are so many users in the UK when it comes to employment. You just have to beware.
Very careful.
Especially if you're very desperate and looking for like sponsorship and where to work and all of that. Michael.
Yes.
So you guys, let me brag on Michael's behalf.
No, don't do that.
Okay,
brag a little.
No, don't do that. We're on air. Don't do that.
Okay, so brag for us.
Okay.
Brag for us. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah, she calls me Tech Bro.
Yes, Tech Bro.
I think that's the only bragging now. Come on, no. Okay,
you guys.
Wait. Okay, so so what exactly do you want me to?
So I need you to talk about how you. Well, Michael is still doing his masters. Hasn't even submitted his dissertation, but has a job, a good one for that matter. I want him to walk us through how he got that amazing job in tech. We're not going to say his salary, but it's big money in pounds for that matter. Also, we just want him to walk us through how he was able to, get that job. Like, Michael, tell us.
Yeah. Okay, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
So, all right. So I was saying that while I was in school, I was already into tech in quotes and stuff like that. So the thing is, while I was in Nigeria, even before I came for my masters, before I came for my masters, I was working with a company. I wouldn't want to say the name.
Yeah, with a financial institution.
Exactly.
But what were you
one
doing?
of the big financial institutions. I was working as a data engineer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I hope they are not listening now. I'm presuming still working remotely.
It doesn't matter. You're not doing it
no. Like I'm even still working remotely
with them.
As at today.
Oh, that's
so.
You're making
we want to be like when we grow up.
So the walkthrough is that now because I came to the UK to study big data analytics. And while I was even choosing the university that I wanted, there were some things I put into consideration.
What uni?
Birmingham City University.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you guys went to the same uni.
So I checked the ranking of the school, and then the course that I wanted to do is it really accredited by the DCS Society in the UK and all of that. Yeah, I did. So, but at the end of the day, all of that it doesn't really matter.
Doesn't
if you ask me.
matter.
It doesn't really matter because those are the things I was just like checkmating myself. And
are you guys listening?
And
when you're coming to the UK, you have to be very specific about the courses and school that you want.
Yeah, so,
do your research.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, when I got to the UK, my skill, I think that's what really paved way for me, to be very honest. My skill is what really paved way for me. I was there. And then I remember when I got in, even before I got here, I was in Nigeria. I told my friend I'll be coming to the UK, and he said, okay, you know what? He gave me some, maybe total jobs or something, even while I was
indeed.
Total. I think it's indeed,
yeah,
one of those. He gave me, even while I was in Nigeria, he said I should just put my CV, and then I tell you, I kid you not, while I was in Nigeria, my CV was on, is it Total Jobs? I got a call from where I didn't even have a UK number.
Wow.
I was using my WhatsApp number.
So
they called me. I remember some agency, some recruiter called me on WhatsApp and like, okay, when are you going to be around? They asked me for my skill set first, and they like my skill set. That's what the market wants, and when am I going? Then they usually ask for what's your status? Like, what's your status?
That's where the problem usually.
And when I told them that I'm a student, that at least okay,
and you need sponsorship,
and the conversation changed.
So that's the major thing, honestly. Like once they just know you need sponsorship, especially you're not here currently, the expenses. If you're even here, they don't mind sponsoring you actually. But it's when you have to come, they have to bring you all the way from Nigeria or like any other country.
So where when I put the job in, let me just make it snappy, was on LinkedIn. I'm very
you're a LinkedIn expert. He's a LinkedIn influencer. One of those
people that make you look like what the hell are you doing in your life?
No, I usually don't do aspire to.
Honestly, people like you.
And I didn't start with one egg and one feather. No, my case is different. So, but the thing is, I belong to a community. I belong to a community, a Microsoft community, where we do all these tech conference demo online and all of that. So I have quite some followers on LinkedIn. So sometimes I do repost some of these events and stuff like that. So, but the point is, my LinkedIn, I got a job through LinkedIn, not even my own CV. I got a job through LinkedIn. I was contacted. I think I once told you the amount of DMs I have on LinkedIn. It's more than 90.
Wow.
I still receive like 3 today.
Yeah.
So I keep receiving the
By the way,
jobs
you
offer
guys,
and stuff like that. So LinkedIn is
yeah.
one of the most underrated.
Yeah, it's very underrated. I'm not gonna lie.
Let's talk about how underrated LinkedIn is.
Yeah,
let's talk about it very much. I get recruiters messaging me on LinkedIn about jobs. Although sometimes when you apply to those jobs, there are other processes you have to take. And LinkedIn has been one of my major sources of
inspiration.
Yeah, and looking for jobs basically, because I know I have a friend who got a job in a law firm just by someone offering it to him on LinkedIn, and so many other people like that who got jobs from LinkedIn. And my current internship, although I didn't get it from LinkedIn, but it was advertised on LinkedIn as well, but I got it through my school careers network. I think one of the things that people also underutilize is careers network in their school. I kid you not, those guys are, you know how schools, they're always willing to help you. Those guys will help you with your CV, they'll help you with your interview skills, assessment skills, everything. They're always willing to help. And my school, we used to have career fairs. Do they do that in BCU?
Honestly, I think they do, but I'm not. I never really joined any community.
Yeah, but I didn't join, but I've been getting mails on that, and so even for anyone, as long as if you're in the UK, not just only in the UK, I think if you're everywhere,
you should have
your interview skills.
Yeah.
The star format.
And everyone,
if you don't know about the star format, just go and
learn. You know what? My friend was telling me about the star format a few days ago. Yeah, that's what they like. She said she failed an interview because she didn't use the star format. Ever since then, she has been using the star format.
I told you about some. Okay, I can mention their names, but I won't mention the one that I got the job with. I got an interview with Amazon. I got an interview with NatWest Group. I mean, big organizations, that big companies that are willing to sponsor. Yeah, even though some of those, when I did some of those interviews, then the star format I haven't even come across, because then when I was even doing those interviews, I was
you were just freestyling.
Exactly, because I knew that even if they want me to.
What's the star format though?
The star format, it talks about I think it was situation. What was the situation?
Then T task
is the task you did.
Then A is approach or something, action, how you handled it.
Okay. And
then R is
for the result.
Yeah.
The result.
That's
so the star format. So whenever they ask you any question or what you've done in time past, they expect you to go through that star format. What was the situation? What was the task you did? What was the action you achieved? Then the result. Then some people used to say that someone in Amazon told me that after the HES, she used feedback, like the feedback or what you've learned from the whole process and stuff like that. So anyway, that's what I did the interview. In fact, the interview is one of the, to be very honest, the interview for the job, it was one of the shortest interview I've done.
The one you got here? I always say that when it comes to, sometimes like when I do interviews, right, for me it's like, if you have like a chance of getting the job, you will know. Yeah. You actually know. Especially in this part of the world, they are very transparent when it comes to expressions.
Okay, in 1 minute, there were 2 jobs that I had then, 2 opportunities that I had then at that time. The first one, the first one, it was 4 stages of interview, and I went through every stage. It was very promising. Even the recruiter called me and told me that like these people really like you, they want to give you the job. The fourth, and when I met the manager or the group lead, because I already got one job that is paying more than this one, so I didn't even go through the company. I didn't even read much about the company, but I also know that this company is an insurance company. So the guy asked me that, so now that they are about taking me in, so what do they do and stuff like that. I was like, I know it's an insurance company. The guy was really disappointed because I didn't read about it, and that was because me, I was
in this part of the world, they always expect you to know everything about them. I know that for legal applications, when you're applying to law firms, they expect you to know, all the things that companies drop at the end of every year, who their clients are, what's happening in the mergers and acquisitions world, things that. When they say you need to be commercially aware, commercial awareness is one underrated thing. You need to read the news every single day. You need to know what's happening in the world. Which area of law are you going into? Things are happening. Deals are going on. You need to know what's happening. It is crazy. Like, you've not even gotten the job, but they expect you to
know
put so much energy into what's happening in that organization. But you've not even got. And you know the thing, they do all these things and then they still train you at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Which is nice. I mean, they need to know that you'll be able to take the amount of training that they're giving you. That's why they're putting you through. But why put someone through so much? Many people through so much when you only pick 1 or 2 people.
I think in my opinion, I think the reason most time is because they just want to know how you actually handle tax. Yeah, that's the thing, because that's like a major thing you're probably going to be doing almost throughout like your job. Like when you're in the company, they just want to know how you will be able to handle tax 90% of the time.
Let me speak on behalf of some people, right? Let me tell you, some people do well. Some people do exceedingly well when they've gotten the job, compared to during the interview stages.
I told you the interview. In fact, after my interview, when they wanted to give me the job, so I had a recruiter, one of the recruiters in charge. So immediately I finished the interview, I noticed that they were impressed with the questions they asked me and the way I answered the questions. I knew. And the recruiter were actually, what the recruiter was is an agency. You know how agency works here?
Yeah.
They have a cut and stuff like that. So what the budget, they had to go like 10% above the budget. So when I just called the agent, I just told him, and that's why sometimes you have to be free with this agent. I just called the guy, I told him that, you know what, these people really, they are impressed with the way I answered the questions, I spoke with them, and you know what, can you just push it to their limit? Let's just push the pay, the annual earnings to the maximum. Let's push it. He said thank you for giving me that. And at the end of the day, when the guy called me, the guy said, man, they really like you. What did you tell them? How did you go? I was like, man, bro, I was just doing what I needed to do. He said, okay, you know what, we got it for so amount. But when he said that, I was like, okay, good, let's do it.
Wow.
So the point is, whatever job you want to put in for,
negotiating skills is very important.
That's another thing.
Do you notice how recruiters always ask that, what's your expected salary? And then because of fear, sometimes you say 19 to 21k because that's what entry level amount.
Don't ever say anything below 20. Even for internship roles, I don't even think they should pay you anything less than 20 in this UK. Why are you doing a job less than 20k?
Word.
Like, how do you even want to survive with that kind of money?
Right. So I think the learning negotiation skills is important.
It's very important.
You should be able to negotiate for your salary.
And the important thing is, Google will tell you, go on Google, search for the role you're applying for. They will tell you how much, the average. You will see it there.
Yeah.
So if read through the job description, also read details into the job description. I'm telling you, that job description is where that's where this thing is, what you're looking for. They will tell you, see, a company that will even stress you will see it in the JD. And they are there to kill you.
It's true now.
You will see it in the JD. You will know.
Some company will tell you they want this skill, they want you to be back end, they want you to be front, they want you to be DevOps.
You get what I'm saying?
Some people even say overtime.
And in the JD they'll probably write they need a front end engineer, but in the job title they will write front end maybe developer. In the job description they're writing back end. What exactly do you want? And then you will put
away from this entire experience.
The biggest takeaway from this experience is that I'm gonna do it again.